So, hi Donna.
Good morning, Gail.
Hi, thank you for having myself and Joel, the cameraman. Hi, Joel.
Welcome to Sunflower Stables and Farms.
Yeah, thank you. It's really nice, and we've had a moment to walk around and meet the horses, and it's really peaceful out here.
It's very peaceful.
Yeah, so the reason I wanted to do this interview with you was I really wanted to help to raise more awareness about some of the work that's going on in Barbados with people like yourself that are helping horses, ex-race horses, abandoned horses. So I'm just going to run through some questions that I have here, if I may.
Of course.
And if there's anything else you'd like
Is there
to add.
is there A or B or C? Is it multiple choice?
It's
Or?
not multiple choice. It's very spontaneous, right?
Okay.
Nothing too heavy. So we'll begin. The first thing, obvious, is the obvious question: who's Donna? Tell us a bit about your background.
My background, obviously, anybody that knows me knows that I come from a horse background. Both my dad, Arthur Williams, and my mum, Angela Melville, were big horse people. Dad had the race horses and played polo. Mum was the first female polo player in the island. She also drove all the buggies and carriages that are collected at Sunbury, which is where I was managing for many, many moons. And it's her legacy is there now with all the buggies and carriages. And she had a riding school of at least 150 children,
Wow.
and many of them have remained in the horse industry. Further going forward, how did I get here?
Yeah.
After managing Sunbury for 20, God knows how many years, been in tourism my whole life, and then I was helping my friend Sandra with her stables, which was then down here.
Okay.
And it was myself and two teenagers during COVID and 20 horses. And for me, the Ferris wheel stopped, and I was able to enjoy life, and I forgot about the things I really enjoyed. And then I was helping her with the riding school.
Yeah.
And we started taking the horses to the sea. And then my partner in business, Hayden Nichols, said, well, why don't you come and swim my racehorses?
Awesome.
So the first time I swam out, and when he said, you see the boat? And I'm like, no, I don't see the boat. And it was miles
Wow.
out. And the horse was sold to soul. So the very first horse I swam out to sea, and he was still in racing. So we were at Pebbles, obviously, 5 o'clock in the morning. And all I could do was sing Amazing Grace, because I didn't know if they would stop swimming. I didn't know if suddenly Barbados had sharks in the water, but all I did was sit under him and go, amazing. That's all I could do.
Hoping for the best.
And one thing led to another. I saw all the visitors coming down to Pebbles.
Yeah.
And having been in tourism, I said it's not the right venue for us to set up something. So we, because Sandra and I had been taking the children down to Pirates Cove, well, now it's not Pirates Cove anymore, but we've been taking them down there because it's one of the beaches you can swim the horses at, the very limited beaches that you can swim at. And so that's how it kind of started to roll. And I collected a couple horses, rescued a few. Mandingo, I got him from Horse Sanctuary.
Which one's Mandingo?
The one out there on the left.
On the left-hand side on his own,
It's David walking towards Mandingo right
Okay,
now. But
okay.
Mandingo, he has a story where he was starved, escaped, hit by a car.
Gosh.
And obviously, as you know, Monique and Robert have the sanctuary.
Yeah. the
And
horse
I walked
charity.
in, I looked into Mandingo's eyes, and I was in love.
Yeah.
So I took Mandingo, because we were trying to build a stable of 6 to do this tour. I wasn't creating a sanctuary. I'd refurbished some stables at home.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it just evolved. I was just
Yeah.
following what God told me to do.
Yeah.
And
that's what
Mandingo came
happens.
with 2 friends. And then we got Gavilar, a stallion who had some stomach issues and feet issues without going into it, laminitis and stuff.
Okay, too technical for some of our,
And
our watchers.
well,
They'd
even
have
me
to Google.
sometimes, because the horses can't speak, you have to listen very carefully to them. It sounds
How
ridiculous.
do you listen to them?
You give them a lot of love
Yeah.
and some patience. And a lot of times people think that the problems are actually in the tendons and joints, and most of it can be in the back.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about you, but getting to a certain age after sitting down for a while, you go, oh!
Yeah, in the mornings, especially in the mornings.
And sometimes the knees don't feel right.
Yeah.
Well, therapy with the horses is very important, and that's why the swimming started.
Okay.
So there's plenty racehorse trainers that you will see swimming. Sean Hall will swim his, Hayden swims his, and at Pirates Cove, Eddie brings down his
Right.
sandling, which I just stand there and admire them. But
So basically, what you're saying is there's a benefit for the tourists in terms of they get to enjoy riding the horses, but also the horses as well get the therapy from the
correct,
water.
correct,
Okay, great. That's cool.
correct.
Yeah.
But the down where they swim the racehorses at Pebbles, it's supposed to be just them touching, taking a picture.
Right.
But whereas my tour is supposed to be an interactive tour where you get to swim out on the horse, you come back, you know, we have some of the children will jump off, roll around and do whatever, but it's to get that feeling of being in the sea while they're relaxing and enjoying themselves. And then Mandingo is also known to drink a rum punch,
Okay, literally.
literally
And
from a cup.
how does he behave after that?
Happy.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Old Brigand loves a rum punch, but he doesn't have the etiquette.
Oh, I see.
And he's now drinking. He's now getting
He's
better.
a bit of a bad drunk, is he?
No, he just he's got a spilling problem.
Oh, I see.
But he likes
Okay.
the flavor of it. But anyway, we move forward. We got to stop at 6 horses. Ha ha. Old Brigham was number 9.
Yeah.
And my brother saw me standing at home. He goes, "You're getting another horse, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah."
So that brought
And
it to 10.
No, Old Brigham was number 9.
Okay.
And when he walked in, my brother, who was ready to quarrel, went, "Every stable needs a grey," and walked off. Because my mum used to always use a grey to pull her buggies.
Right, okay, lovely. Oh, look, who's this coming to us?
This is Set Sail. She's the only mare out this side.
Hi, Set Sail. Where are you setting sail to today? Or are you just joining us?
So we do have some brood mares that
Yeah.
I keep for the owners because we have such a lovely stallion here.
Yeah, she's
And
beautiful. Hi, nice to meet you.
actually, the breeding process,
Yeah.
some goes absolutely fine, some not so easy.
Yeah.
And then the complications, it's horrible when you know. But this is Set Sail. She thinks she's a bully.
So you share quite a lot about how you started and your background. It's absolutely amazing. And you're right, it's how things evolve because you never knew that you'd
No,
be here doing
no,
this, right?
no.
That wasn't your initial plan. But
It
now
was
that
not.
you are here, obviously it's very rewarding,
Yeah.
time consuming. So this is your life now.
Yes.
Okay then.
So we we ended up renting this, and I say that lightly because I owe rent. But
Okay. You're not meant to tell people that.
no, I'm very honest. Everybody
only-
that knows
I'm
Donna
only
knows that I'm
kidding.
very honest. So both of my daughters are teachers
Mhm.
now. And I guess I was teaching at a riding school and everything. So, and I've always been in tourism. And when I started down here and I was bringing the animals and some children would come and visit,
Yeah.
because we said it's big enough to have more animals, hence, you know. And when I saw after COVID, and the children just didn't know about animals anymore.
Yeah.
They're frightened for chickens. They're frightened for ducks. And I mean,
Everything.
when we do a little walk through, you will see that these animals are like entertainment. I don't need humans anymore. I got the animals.
So when you say animals, I know you have the horses. What other animals? You've got
We've got the
duck-
horses, we've got ducks. There's 3 breeds of ducks.
Mhm.
I've got the Peking, the green-head mallard, and the Muscovy.
Okay.
Interesting fact, if you have rats at home, get a couple of Muscovies and your problem is over.
Oh, interesting.
Ducks really keep down the insect population
Right.
and, you know, the pests. The chickens, well, that started because during COVID, I was raising my own. I was up to 300 broilers.
Uh-huh.
And then with the interaction of Barry, I fell in love with some of the Red Rangers.
Mhm.
And then we've got the Asian Blues. So we've got a variety of chickens
Oh,
in there
looking
as
forward
well.
to meeting them.
And then the goat, well, so the chickens are for the eggs here.
Mhm.
The goats are for the milk.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of different breeds. I'm still learning their names. The Alpine and the, anyway, there's more.
Mhm.
And then the rabbits, it was supposed to be for processing, but I couldn't.
No. Okay. So.
Okay, so they're just
they're
because
pets.
they're cute, yeah.
Right. Fair enough.
So that's my list of them in there.
Lovely.
We're looking to get back some turkeys. We had bought them to process, couldn't. Mr. Gobble Gobble lived to his day out.
Good.
And someone has told me I can get some peacocks as well.
Oh,
So I want to create
that'd
an
be nice.
educational farm,
Yeah.
right? So when children come, like the summer camps, and they can come through and actually learn something about the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know that a goat is used for the milk.
That's
A goat milk is
correct.
actually better for you than a cow milk.
And the interesting thing about it is that children learn these things in school, but there's nothing better for them to actually see it
Interact.
in action.
Like when they
That's
come in, they
they
can
can
just
make the
feed the duck
correlation and say, okay, then so
and
this
pick
is
up the
how it really
eggs.
works.
Picking up the eggs
The-
is like a real
yeah,
treasure hunt, you know.
yeah,
And the duck
absolutely.
eggs are so high in protein.
Okay.
You know, I've learned so much just doing a little
Mm.
research on these animals.
So, Donna, we're going to wrap things up now. It's been a pleasure speaking with
It's
you.
lovely. From the time we met on the beach, I knew we'd meet again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been lovely meeting the horses, and I hope to have a little bit of a ride if possible. But what I'd like to end with is just asking you, you're doing such phenomenal work, you know. How can we support you more, and what kind of support are you receiving already?
Students, as I say, come down, paint, feed, wash, bathe, clean the animals, and that does help.
Volunteering. Then.
A lot of things that you might throw out, like old pieces of wood and lattice and stuff that are not actually rubbish. Every farmer will know that the animals break things every day. We're always doing repairs. And the other thing we're trying to do is the camps. I noticed there's a lot more camps this year for the children.
Yeah.
I would love to get more children to come through the farm and interact with the animals as well as the horses, all of the animals that we have here, and be able to feed them, learn about milking a goat, you know.
Yeah.
And in that way, that would be lovely to support not only the farm, but the children of our future so that they can. Not everybody is to be a doctor or a nurse, you know. Farming is very, very, very important, and I did not know how important it was until we started.
Yeah, and I think we're going back full circle actually with that. I think people are beginning to realise
Yes.
with the importation of food and the taxes and the challenges, I think that people are starting to learn how important agriculture is and just how nice it is to actually grow your own produce.
Yes,
And eat it.
but the joy of a child to put down the phone, go outside, feed the chicken, pick up
Yeah.
some eggs, milk the goat,
Amazing.
you know, and or feed the duck. Ducks are absolute fun.
Yeah.
And then be able to go inside, and step two will be then, okay, let's bake with these eggs or let's
Yeah,
cook
let's
with
do
these eggs.
something.
So I
Yeah.
want it to try and progress our children
Okay.
of all ages.
And lastly, who do you like collaborate with? Who do you work with for support and things like that?
Well, Janine Seal, and obviously the stable to Sir David and Hopefield. I've got 4 wonderful horses. I don't know what we would do without Olbrigan. He's also well established in my rum punch, I have you all know. And those who know me know that I used to do a rum tour, so I know it's a good rum. But yeah, Janine at Hopefield has always supported us, and
Thank you to them.
to them. And to be honest, financial support we don't get, but the support we get from like Mikey when he bought grass, Joe the blacksmith when he has to turn up last minute, reminds me I got to call him. So those people, you know, the
And
vets,
the vet, I just about to ask you
the
about the
vets.
vets as well coming to support you. Well, it has been a pleasure again. And what I'd like to do now is just, you know, off camera, just have a walk around.
Yeah, that's why Williams are very smart.